What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for MicroStrategy Incorporated with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So I got to do another MicroStrategy update today, especially after a nice move upwards that we just saw. Looks like Bitcoin is pounding at that $99,000 level, looking ready to break out as well. So I think this month, there's a very good chance for seeing six figures, probably even this week. Bitcoin looks like it's ready to break out. And this looks pretty promising for MicroStrategy. So yesterday it was looking kind of weak, but not that strong as well for the bears. It was barely breaking down lower, and it was looking like price wanted to drop, but it wasn't guaranteed because it wasn't that strong of a move down, right? So let's take a look at, let's go over today's candlestick first. Nice bullish candle. You can see that price was trading at the 356, 365 level. That was the day's range, and then it traded all the way up to the 409 level to close just slightly down at 406. So that's a very strong move up. So let's see what happened on intraday. Here's the intraday chart. You can see that price was going sideways for a couple of days and was looking like it wanted to break down lower. Price was below this downward trend line right here, but it was kind of staying above this 374 level, right around there. You can adjust it a little bit lower. So you see that it is acting as some sort of support. And we had a nice push up higher. So it looks like bears might be failing to reach their measure move target because this was the impulse right here by the bears. This is all one leg right here. A lot of times you'll see these measure moves being reached, or you'll see attempts at it. So this was the first attempt by the bears that failed, and this was the second attempt that failed. And then price consolidated. Now it looks like it's breaking up higher to trap out the shorts. So shorts are going to have their stop losses above this swing right here and above this swing right here. They can have in other places, but that's generally where the most stop losses are, above the pivots, above the swings. So if we see a break above the 417, like the 417, 420 level, I think we're going to see a good move up to the mid $400 level. That's what it's looking like it wants to do, right? Because it looks like the bears are struggling to drop down price. So there's a good chance the bulls can succeed because that long-term momentum was up. And over time, it can take control back in the short term as well. So this is the prior impulse by the bulls. This is the second impulse, and this is targeting the 446 level. So let's see if we can break above that 450 level. If it can, we're going to probably see a retest of the prior all-time high and maybe even exceed it. So this looks pretty good as of right now for MicroStrategy. I like how it broke through this downward trend line. I like how it's staying above that 370 level, the lower 370 level, which is a good sign. And again, this indicates that the bears potentially have failed to reach their measurement target at that 311 level and that gap fill at the 270 level. So that tells me there's a good chance the trend up can resume higher, because overall, like I said before, you got to have different time frames in your mind. The long-term time frame and the short-term time frame. Long-term was bullish the whole time, short-term was bearish, and it wasn't even that bearish as well. So it looks like that long-term momentum is able to override that short-term momentum and make both of them up at the same time now. So we're kind of like, you could say, right over here, where the long-term momentum was up and the short-term momentum was coming to an end, and that led to both of the momentums going upwards. So we'll see what happens. But as right now, it looks pretty good. Either way, there was a lot of bullish signs because price was above this bullish trend line right here. Price is staying above that EMA, and the bears are struggling to drop down the price. So overall, MicroStrategy still looks pretty good. I'm expecting it to continue moving up higher. Even if, let's say, we get rejected right here and we drop down lower, well, again, like I said before, I'm still expecting higher prices in the long term. A lot of people ask why I don't look at Bitcoin. Well, there's a thing in the market called correlation. So that means that a lot of times you'll have two types of markets or several types of markets highly correlated. So that means you don't need to look at all of them, right? I don't need to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin moved up today and MicroStrategy went up today, right? They're almost highly exactly correlated. I don't need to look at Bitcoin because MicroStrategy is basically Bitcoin on steroids, right? It's a proxy. It's a leverage bet on Bitcoin. This was telling me already that it was barely dropping down lower and the long-term momentum is still up. That's basically what Bitcoin is doing, except its correction is sideways, and it looks like it's ready to break out higher as well. So overall, it looks pretty good on both the charts, right? I do look at Bitcoin. That's only for my members. You can look at the video description below for the details of that. I do look at it every week, and I do have my long-term target where I think it'll top in this cycle, only for members, and where I'll be getting out at But again, if you're interested in that, that's only for members. And either way, MicroStrategy looks pretty good. It's highly correlated, so you don't have to look at the Bitcoin as well, because, like I said before, there's a correlation, right? It's kind of like saying, "Oh, I'm only going to look at gold and forget about silver." Well, they're almost correlated, you could say. Obviously, silver is not following gold's trend, but it's two of the same commodities in the same market, right? You can have other correlations between currencies, right? Like the Japanese yen versus some other currency. There's some high correlation between these currencies, high correlation between these stocks, and even correlation between different markets, right? Like the stock market, for the example, for MicroStrategy, and then the cryptocurrency market, for example, Bitcoin. So you don't have to look at both the things at the same time. It's almost a waste of energy and time, unless there was a clearly divergence going on that they're not following each other. Then I would look at them separately. In this case, it doesn't make sense to look at them separately. You could just look at one or the other, and most of the time, they're just going to do the same thing as the other one would anyway. Here's a look at the weekly chart. Still bullish. Again, it's going to take a week to. This week just basically is halfway done, so it's going to take a lot of change for on the price action to change the long term picture. Was this still up? I'm looking for that $1,500 target, and then again, my long term target is 4,000. But again, that's probably going to be with the stock split. So what that means is that we're going to probably see a $900 billion market cap or even a $1 trillion market cap sooner than later. Maybe not this Bitcoin cycle, maybe the next one. But I think that this one, we can at least see the $1,500 level. Is that guaranteed? No. Again, nothing is guaranteed in the market. The market moves in attempts, not guarantees. It moves in, these levels are potential levels, not perfect levels, right? Again, everything is potential levels. These are all potential targets. So all that from MicroStrategy and daily weekly charts. I'll try to give you guys an update tomorrow. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.